don't know if I should call this breaking or just wild news involving Kanye West, happened within the last hour. He's been on a Twitter rant unlike even himself. Now, here's what he's posted. Here's just a few of them. Kim was trying to fly to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up like on the movie Get Out because I cried about saving my daughter's life yesterday. NBC locked up Bill Cosby. Now, this comes just 24 hours after West held his first campaign rally in South Carolina, and he said this about Harriet Tubman.
When Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
And by now, you all have likely seen that video of Kanye West, and I don't know what to say. So, Rashonda, that's your boy. You roll with him. Tell us what's going on with Kanye.
Our boy is sick. He needs a change of meds, somebody to take some meds. You know, I don't want to just immediately say that his people have him out there like that, because I have seen, as an advocate of mental health, I have seen how you can do everything and they still go off on their own. But somebody drove him to that rally, and somebody told him, you know, patted him on the shoulder, said, go do it. And somebody carved 2020 into his head. He got to get some around him to say, bro, it's time to
And Rashonda, you know what? I'm laughing, but you're serious about the mental health issue.
Yeah, I mean, it is classic. You know, he is admitted bipolar. I am a staunch mental health advocate, and he is exhibiting all the signs of someone who is off his medication. I mean, just the speech, the extremes it went through, the emotions, it was a classic cry for help.
Is that a cry for help when you hear it, Mondo, or what?
Yeah, I think also it's a cry for help. Yes, he does exhibit all the symptoms of an actual person that's bipolar, but also it just so happens he's actually about to come out with a new album. So, you know, what sells more albums than anything is publicity. You know, that being good press or bad press. You know, that new album that's about to come out, hopefully if he can get at least 1,000 more sales, or even 1 million, it doesn't matter. You know, it's all about the sales, you know, because at this point, he's not going to be able to qualify. A lot of the states have pretty much, he's past the deadline. So, for example, today, he has until noon, he had until noon today to actually have 10,000 votes in order for him to even be on the South Carolina ballot for the presidency. But, you know, if anything, like I said, you know, it just goes back to, you know, good press or bad press, press is nothing but good at the end of the day, because it puts your name out there and hopefully he can sell a couple more records.
And Todd, there could be a fine line between crazy and genius, you know, if he's using this as a publicity stunt, and he is an expert at publicity.
He's definitely an expert at publicity, but 2020 is not the year. We have too much going on with the controversial president. We have coronavirus. We have the police brutality stuff after George Floyd. This is not the year to use that as a publicity stunt, in my opinion. I've known he's done crazy things in the past before. He's always done outlandish things at award shows, and that is great. Bad publicity and good publicity are publicity. But Kanye has to realize that he has a bigger responsibility to his people in his community. Kanye is a billionaire. So if he sells 1,000 more records, I get that. I ain't a billionaire, so 1,000 more records will put some money in my pocket. But Kanye has that money. But what about his people that are struggling? And they're struggling under this presidency, or they're struggling under Trump's response to the coronavirus or police brutality. 2020 is like 1968. This ain't the year to be playing. This ain't the year just to be selling no records. This is a year to really get people moving in a direction to change this country for the better. And Kanye doing this is taken away from the movement. He's not going to win the election. No, he's not qualified to be on a lot of ballots, but he is qualified to take some votes away from Biden. He is, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not telling people who to vote for, but this is not the year for Black people to really distract from real issues affecting the Black community, in my opinion.
So, Rashonda, is he a distraction? Good distraction that we may need in this depressing time, or something that's just in our way?
Did you see that video? We don't need that. That was even more depressing. I would tell people not to support an artist. I'm an artist. But at this point, I wish we wouldn't buy whatever this album is coming out, because I don't want this to work. I don't want this publicity stunt, if that's what it is, to result in more sales for him, because it's sending a dangerous message. Todd is so correct. This is not the year for protest, for trying to jump on Kanye West's bandwagon. We're co-signing the foolishness. And you know, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not diagnosing that it's a mental illness. But whatever it is, we need to just close the door on Kanye West for 2020, and let's go revisit him in 2021.
I'm gonna piggyback off what Shauna said. I'm not a Kanye hater. And like she said, she's not telling anybody not to buy his music. I've supported Kanye. I've been on your show supporting him with the Jesus is King album, and I thought it was sincere. So I'm not a hater and telling people, like she said, not to support an artist, but too much is too much. You know what I mean? It's like, if it works, we're just allowing people to come in and distract us from the issue. So Kanye has to realize, and also he might lose fans. Yeah, you might gain some fans from this, but he's kind of turned me off. And I've been a fan of Kanye since day one, since College Dropout. But this is a little bit too far. So I don't see myself supporting this album. And I've pretty much supported all of his albums. So it could be
made his comment about Harriet Tubman. You heard people in the audience saying, "Let's go."
Yeah. It's enough of that. It's enough of that. I mean, Harriet Tubman is a queen. She's one of our leaders, and she should be protected. The slavery comment that he said slavery was a choice, and now this is too far. You know, Harriet is not here to defend herself, so we should, as a community. T.I. spoke out, 50 Cent spoke out, Snoop Dogg spoke out, and regular Americans have spoken out. But he's taking it way too far. Yeah, you want to sell records, but at what cost?
We need to pull up Harriet on Kanye right now. Roll out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with the Harriet Tubman, the comment that he made about that, yeah, that's very personal. And not only that, like I said, you know, I agree with, you know, with this not being the year to make something, you know, if anything, you know, if it's this bipolar that's making those, you know, rash, you know, comments out of nowhere, out of left field and right field, and pretty much, you know, playing in the stands, like if you're in a baseball game, but still, you know, he took it too far. You know, I think he took it too far, because, you know, if I understand about how Trump didn't get fact checked, but if Kanye's going to go, say, for example, he did win the presidency, you know, how much is he going to be fact checked? Or if he's just saying something out of context, because that's what he felt like saying, you know, like whenever he took the mic from, you know, was it Shania Twain or whatever, the, you know, country artist or whoever it was. Yeah. So like I said, you know, those rash things is, you know, especially if you're going to be in a position to lead a nation, you know, especially the United States of America, you can't, you know, be doing abrupt, you know, comments, actions, or whatever the case may be, even though we have a president that's doing it now. But look at the backlash that we're getting from that, you know, from some of the comments that Trump makes now at the moment. So, you know, it is a serious topic that he needs to take a little bit more serious, but, you know, you can't be making, you know, comments about Harriet Tubman or, you know, giving $1 million to somebody, you know, for example, you know, to baby mamas.
Now, wait a minute on that one. I could take that. I need
$1 million is a lot. You know what I mean? That would make me want to have a baby. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like I said, I need $1 million too.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor on